one of your own has to be inside the system.
To work in silence, with intention.
Inside the legislative body.
With alliance.
Identify those people that align with your ideologies.
For the future of the leadership of the youth.
And I'll tell you for a fact, that person is not Boniface Mwangi.
What you want to do is to deputize Samuel, not to undercut him with snide comments like a woman. Samuel is way ahead of the curve.
The choice is yours. And I'll end up with this. If you leave that vacuum of you do not have a leader, then other people that are more organized are going to create leaders for you.
If you want to understand what I'm saying, go back to my video from June of 2024.
So I want to speak directly to the movement. And I want to reiterate my stance and my observation that has always remained constant. You need to be organized, you need to be disciplined. And I'll run you through a small history of the past successes and the ingredients that they used to get to that success. I'll take you all the way back to 1944. Eliud Mathu infiltrated the decision-making inside of the colonial rule through the Legislative Council, popularly known as LegCo. 1944. Eliud Mathu knew that for Africans to have a decision-making platform, for their voices to be heard, they had to be represented inside of the LegCo. 1944, Eliud Mathu was the first person to join the LegCo. Later on, it was Bernard Mate. It's only when you are inside of the decision making. If we fast forward to the agitation for multi-party democracy in late 1980s and early 1990s, it was Charles Rubia, a cabinet secretary. It was Kenneth Matiba, a cabinet secretary, inside of the government. They had to be inside of the decision making for them to effect the change that they are looking for. If you look at the whole lineup of the Young Turks led by Paul Moite, they held decision-making positions inside of the government, inside of the political system. That's why they were able to effect the change that they wanted. My point is this: the idea that you do not have a leader, it's not a strength. That's a weakness. Because all this energy will go to waste if it's not channeled into a system where decision making is being made. You have to have one of your own at the decision making table so that they can carry your voice and your opinion into that decision making table. The only time, if I may add, that Raila Odinga has had any success, it's not in 1982 when he was attempting to overthrow the government. No. It was when he became part of the system, inside of the government. So it's going to be up to you, the movement, to decide whether what has happened is all you wanted, it's all you needed, or there is more to be had, there is more success to be had. And if there is any change that is going to happen, you have to infiltrate one of your own inside of the system. You've heard the story of the Trojan Horse. The success of the Trojan Horse, the genius of it, is to catapult your own inside of the decision making, inside of the system. The choice is yours. And I'll end up with this. If you leave that vacuum of you do not have a leader, then other people that are more organized are going to create leaders for you. We've seen Citizen and NTV already lining up to anoint their own to look as if they are your leaders. So this stance of we don't have a leader, it's not going to work very well for you. I know you may not want to hear that, but you need to hear that. You have to infiltrate the system from the inside. Look and attach yourselves with people who are already on the inside and have them carry your message, have them carry your agenda, have them carry your policies, have them make the decisions at the decision table. That is going to be the only long-lasting solution, long-lasting achievements. It has been tested from 1944 during the colonial rule by Bernard Mate and Eliud Mathu, and it was tested during the agitation for multi-party by the Young Turks, led by an older generation in Kennedy Matiba and Charles Rubia, and it worked. So unless you have a more futuristic idea under your sleeves that you know that is going to work where that kind of approach has not worked in the past, unless you have another secret formula, the formula is that one of your own has to be on the inside. One of your own has to be inside the system, inside the legislative bodies, inside the system, making the changes, making the influences that you would want. And I'll tell you for a fact, that person is not Boniface Mwangi. And I'll tell you what you don't want to hear. That person, if you want to look for that person, they are already at the table of the decision making. They are already members of parliament. They are already inside the system. They are already inside the government. Those people, identify those people that align with your ideologies, and then rally, not behind them, rally alongside them. But then again, what do I know?